In their eyes, literally, she is a saint. It goes Jesus, Beyonce, Mother Teresa.
They control everything, what you see, what you hear, what you believe. But this time, they couldn't stop it. Shocking new footage of Beyonce's hidden prince, Sir Carter, has just surfaced, and the Carters are scrambling to make it disappear. Why has he been hidden from the world for so long? And what is the Carter empire so desperate to keep under wraps? From unflattering photos to bad press to entire career-ending rumors, Beyonce and Jay-Z have built an empire of absolute media control. Because when Beyonce doesn't want something seen, it disappears. Is Sir Carter being hidden to maintain Beyonce's flawless image? Is there something they don't want the world to see? And more importantly, how deep does their control over the media really go? Let's talk about it. The footage. The resurfacing of Sir Carter's footage has set the internet ablaze, igniting heated debates across social media. The clip, which appears to be a rare glimpse of Beyonce and Jay-Z's only son, has left fans questioning why he has been kept out of the public eye for so long. While some argue that the Carters are simply protecting his privacy, others believe there's a deeper, more calculated reason behind his absence. And it's actually puzzling why Sir Carter's public presence differs so drastically from his sisters. Beyonce's daughters, Blue Ivy and Rumi, are already making their marks in the industry, both having had the opportunity to record music alongside their superstar mom. But when it comes to her only son, Sir Carter, the story takes a different path. Unlike his sisters, the 7-year-old prefers a life away from the cameras, growing up in relative privacy. Despite this, their grandmother, Tina Knowles, insists that Sir and Rumi are just as supportive of their parents as their older sister, Blue Ivy, 13, who frequently accompanies them at high-profile events. While talking about Beyonce's big win at the Grammys, Tina recalled watching the ceremony at home with Rumi and Sir, sharing her reaction to the big moment. "I was screaming too," she admitted. "I was there to help Beyonce and Blue get ready. I was sitting there with my granddaughter Rumi and my grandson Sir, and for a second we were just sitting there. And when she was shocked, I said, 'Oh, it's real.' I couldn't believe it." Although Sir Carter's reaction to his mother's Grammy win wasn't captured, there's no doubt he celebrated in his own way. But the bigger question remains: why? Is Sir Carter kept out of the public eye while his siblings enjoy growing recognition? At one point, the secrecy was so intense that some fans even forgot Beyonce had a son. Tina Knowles has repeatedly tried to silence the rumors, insisting that Sir is simply a private child who has no interest in the limelight. Describing him as incredibly intelligent and drawn to numbers, she painted a picture of a calm, reserved boy who prefers a low-key lifestyle over the glitz and glamour embraced by his sisters.
Sir is very quiet and is very, very smart and does all of the number stuff. So he's not into the fashion stuff as much.
Despite her attempts to set the record straight, curiosity only grew. The stark contrast between Sir Carter's secrecy and the visibility of his sisters has led fans to question whether there's a bigger reason behind his absence. Sir Carter was born in 2017, yet unlike his twin sister, he has rarely, if ever, been seen in public. No appearances at major family events, no big magazine spreads, virtually nothing. At the 2024 Super Bowl, Jay-Z was seen with Blue Ivy and Rumi, but Sir was noticeably absent. The same happened at the Mufasa, The Lion King premiere in December 2024. Beyonce attended with her daughters, but Sir was nowhere to be found. Even during Blue Ivy's NFL halftime show appearance in December 2024, her younger brother remained hidden from the limelight. The more the Carter daughters appear in public, the more people notice the absence of their son, Sir Carter. This secrecy has only fueled more speculation. Could Sir Carter have a medical condition that his parents are keeping under wraps? Fans have dissected every possible clue, even analyzing Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, for hints about his behavior. Some claim he exhibits characteristics associated with autism, pointing to supposed signs like leg dragging, hand flapping, fixating on lights, and repetitive movements. And it makes sense, considering most autistic children are highly sensitive to loud noises and crowds. This could explain why Beyonce keeps her son out of the public eye as much as possible. If this is true, it could be a kind gesture from Beyonce to protect her child and keep him safe from harm. However, not everyone sees it that way, as some accuse her of being ashamed of her son's disability. Adding fuel to the fire, Azealia Banks took to Twitter to call out Beyonce for allegedly hiding her son. In a now infamous tweet, she wrote, "And stop hiding your son from the world, sis. People will find out sooner or later, and you're really gonna look like a piece for being ashamed of your own child." While Beyonce and Jay-Z have never addressed these rumors, speculation continues to mount. Fans have even gone so far as to compare Sir and Rumi, claiming Sir's supposed differences explain why he is kept away from public view, while Rumi makes occasional appearances. Then a new theory emerged, questioning whether Sir Carter's absence was less about privacy and more about strategy. The concept of the Nepo baby has gained traction in recent years, referring to celebrity offspring who leverage their famous parents' status for their own careers. Interestingly, daughters of celebrities seem to to be more marketable than their male counterparts. Within the Carter family, Blue Ivy's prominence is undeniable. By age 12, she had already won a Grammy and performed on global stages. Even Rumi, though younger, has begun making public appearances, yet Sir remains a mystery. Some speculate that female celebrity children naturally attract more media attention, making them more viable for branding and endorsements. This has led to theories that Beyonce and Jay-Z are deliberately keeping Sir in the shadows, possibly waiting for the right moment to introduce him to the world. Given their history of controlling media narratives, it's entirely possible that the Carters have a calculated plan in place. If and when they decide to reveal more about Sir, it will be on their terms. Despite their skillful control over media narratives, even Beyonce and Jay-Z are not immune to controversy. Rumors of them concealing their only son due to his medical condition are just the tip of the iceberg. Beyond their meticulously crafted public image, scandals have surfaced, shaking the industry and sparking widespread debate. The dark side of Beyonce and Jay-Z's legacy. Beyonce and Jay-Z are often seen as the epitome of power, success, and Black excellence. But behind their carefully curated image lies a history of scandals that have rocked the entertainment industry. While they masterfully control their narrative, certain controversies have been too big to ignore. In 2014, the world got a rare, unfiltered glimpse into the Carters' real life when security footage leaked from a Met Gala after-party elevator. The video showed Beyonce's sister Solange physically attacking Jay-Z while Beyonce stood by, seemingly unbothered. The internet went into a frenzy, speculating about the cause. The most widely accepted theory: Jay-Z had been unfaithful and Solange had had enough. Some insiders hinted at Jay-Z's inappropriate behavior with other women during the event, suggesting that Solange was defending her sister's honor. Others believed it stemmed from disagreements about the management of Beyonce's career. The family issued a vague statement about moving forward, but Beyonce later alluded to the drama in her remix of Flawless, rapping, "Of course, sometimes asterisk T goes down when there's $1 billion on an elevator." The couple never directly addressed the infidelity rumors, at least not until later. Amidst the swirling rumors, Beyonce maintained her characteristic poise. However, her 2016 visual album Lemonade offered subtle insights. For years, rumors of Jay-Z's cheating swirled, but in 2016, Beyonce all but confirmed them with Lemonade, an entire album that told the story of betrayal, heartbreak, and redemption. Songs like Sorry, with the infamous line, "You better call Becky with the good hair," suggested that Jay-Z had been unfaithful with an unnamed mistress. The album was a cultural phenomenon, sparking endless debates about who Becky was and whether their marriage would survive. Jay-Z eventually responded with his own album, 444, in which he admitted to his wrongdoings and expressed regret. The couple later framed it as a story of growth and healing, but many still question whether their relationship is as solid as they claim. This musical dialogue between the couple transformed a potential PR disaster into a narrative of vulnerability and redemption, further endearing them to their audience. Then, in 2015, Jay-Z co-founded Tidal, a music streaming service that positioned itself as an artist-friendly alternative to Spotify and Apple Music, but the platform quickly found itself embroiled in scandal. Reports surfaced accusing Tidal of inflating streaming numbers for Beyonce's Lemonade and Kanye West's The Life of Pablo, allegedly adding hundreds of millions of fake plays to boost revenue. Norwegian authorities launched an investigation, but Jay-Z and his team denied any wrongdoing. To this day, the truth remains murky, but the controversy left a stain on Tidal's reputation, leading many to see it as another example of the Carters manipulating the industry to their advantage. While Beyonce is celebrated as a feminist and champion of Black empowerment, she's faced criticism for allegedly underpaying and mistreating workers. The most notable example was the backlash against her Ivy Park fashion line, which was accused of exploiting low-wage workers in Sri Lanka. Similarly, Jay-Z has been accused of profiting from social justice movements while making business deals that contradict his public stance. His controversial partnership with the NFL, after previously supporting Colin Kaepernick's protest against the league, left many fans questioning his true motivations. Was he genuinely trying to create change, or was it just another business move? One of the more shadowy controversies involves allegations that Jay-Z had connections to individuals tied to Jeffrey Epstein. While no direct link to Epstein himself has been confirmed, speculation has grown over his and Beyonce's alleged ties to powerful elites known for questionable dealings. This remains largely in the realm of conspiracy theories, but it has fueled skepticism about the true nature of their influence. However, not all controversies could be so elegantly addressed. In late 2024, Jay-Z faced a grave accusation. A civil lawsuit alleged that Jay-Z and fellow mogul Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl in 2000. Jay-Z vehemently denied the claims, labeling them as baseless and a blatant attempt at blackmail. In February 2025, the lawsuit was voluntarily dismissed with prejudice, preventing it from being refiled. Jay-Z declared this outcome a victory, emphasizing his commitment to clearing his name. Beyond tangible controversies, Beyonce and Jay-Z have long been entangled in the web of conspiracy theories. theories. Their use of Masonic imagery, cryptic lyrics, and hand symbols in music videos fueled speculations of their involvement in secret societies. Rather than refute these claims, the Carters appeared to play along, adding layers to their enigmatic personas. And yet, despite the scandals, the cheating rumors, and the industry drama, Beyonce's reputation remains untouchable, almost sacred. In fact, rather than criticism, what we see is the exact opposite: a never-ending wave of artists bending over backward to publicly thank her, almost as if it's a requirement in the industry. But why? The "Thank You Beyonce" phenomenon. Thank you, Beyonce. Two words that have taken over the internet. A phrase that started as sincere admiration has now become a meme, a joke, a symbol of something much, much bigger. Why does it seem like every artist in the industry must kneel at the altar of Queen Bey? Is it pure respect, or an unspoken industry rule?
Beyonce and I started out around the same time, and just like all of her fans, I fell in love with her. The first time I saw her, from her singing to dancing to acting, she can do it all. She's a triple threat, and one of the most talented people I've ever seen.
Let's be real. The way these A-list stars go out of their way to thank Beyonce almost feels scripted. Adele literally dedicated half her Grammy speech to Beyonce. Lizzo broke down in tears just mentioning her name. Even legends like Prince, Stevie Wonder, and Diana Ross have publicly praised her as if she's the sun and they're mere planets in her orbit. But why? It all started when fans began noticing a curious trend. Artists, regardless of genre or influence, would often thank Beyonce in their acceptance speeches, even when she had no direct connection to their work. This observation quickly gave rise to the "Thank You Beyonce" meme, a humorous exaggeration of her undeniable impact on the music industry. But beyond the jokes, there seems to be something deeper at play. So what exactly sparked this viral trend? Some say it's respect, others say it's something else. What if we told you that thanking Beyonce isn't just about admiration? What if it's about survival in the industry? Let's break it down. Beyonce and her husband Jay-Z are often seen as larger-than-life figures in the music industry, almost untouchable. A new conspiracy theory making waves on social media is only fueling this perception, pushing them even further from relatability and painting them as figures to be feared. This bizarre internet narrative gained traction at a time when disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is dominating headlines following his September arrest on sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges. Diddy has long been friends with Beyonce and Jay-Z, with the couple even attending some of his notorious parties over the years. Fans have pointed out a curious pattern. Many artists seem to go out of their way to thank Beyonce during award speeches, even when their wins have nothing to do with her. One of the most infamous examples dates back to 2009, when Kanye West interrupted Taylor Swift's VMA acceptance speech with the now iconic line, "I'ma let you finish," but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. The moment left audiences in shock and instantly became pop culture history. Forbes also referenced Adele's 2017 Album of the Year win at the Grammys, where she tearfully praised Beyonce as the artist of my life. Adding fuel to the speculation, Adele accidentally broke her trophy that night, leading to an urban legend suggesting she did it intentionally to share her Grammy with Queen Bey. While this Mean Girl-style rumor was later debunked, its recent resurfacing has only added to the frenzy surrounding the latest conspiracy trend. Of course, thanking one's idols during award speeches isn't unusual, but with Diddy's ongoing legal troubles, the Beyonce trend has evolved into a full-blown meme, spreading beyond TikTok and taking over other social media platforms. Netizens are now joking that forgetting to thank Beyonce could be a fatal mistake, reinforcing the eerie aura that surrounds her public image. Another branch of the theory suggests that Cole's lyrics imply Beyonce knows about Diddy's infamous white parties, and more chillingly, what really happens behind closed doors once most guests have left. Beyonce isn't just a superstar, she's a cultural force. But with that power comes an interesting phenomenon. Nobody dares to criticize her. Have you noticed how no major artist ever calls her out? No one ever says a negative word? Meanwhile, artists like Taylor Swift, Kanye West, and even Rihanna face backlash, criticism, and open industry feuds. But Beyonce, untouchable. Maybe that's why artists go out of their way to publicly praise her. Maybe they don't want to find out what happens when you don't. And then there's the Mimi. It's become a joke, an inside joke we're all in on. The idea that Beyonce isn't just a talented musician, but a force so powerful that even A-list stars have to thank her, worship her, acknowledge her, Oregon else. And if that sounds dramatic, let me remind you of one thing. Beyonce controls her own narrative to a degree we've never seen before. Think about it. We never see Beyonce in casual, embarrassing, or candid moments. No messy paparazzi pic, no weird interviews, no controversial sound bites. Every image, every video, every interview is perfectly curated. And when that control slips, she erases it. Remember the 2013 Super Bowl memes where she was caught in an unflattering pose? She didn't laugh it off. She had her team scrub the internet of those images. So if she refuses to let the world see an awkward photo of her, what else is she hiding? What about her family, her personal life, her children? We all know Blue Ivy. We've seen her grow up in the public eye. But Beyonce's son, Sir Carter, he's practically a ghost. Why? That's where the rumors come into play. play. Some rumors say it's because he's not perfect, that Beyonce, the woman who controls every inch of her image, refuses to show anything that contradicts her flawless brand, including her own child.
There's plenty of people that don't like me, but there's 10 times more who love me, and I love myself.
What if this is the ultimate reason why artists feel compelled to thank Beyonce at every turn? Because she's built a world where no one questions her, where her power is absolute, and where even her flaws, whether in her image, her career, or her family, are simply not allowed to exist. But this meme isn't just a joke. It's a symptom of something much bigger, because Beyonce's power doesn't stop at music or celebrity worship. Alongside Jay-Z, she wields almost unprecedented control over the media itself, shaping narratives, erasing inconvenient truths, and ensuring that only the story they want to be told ever sees the light of day. How Beyonce and Jay-Z shape the media narrative.
What would Beyonce do?
What would Beyonce do?
What would Beyonce
What would Beyonce do?
From their early days in the industry, Beyonce and Jay-Z have been acutely aware of the power of perception. They've meticulously crafted their public personas, ensuring that only the desired image reaches the masses. Beyonce and Jay-Z are not just artists, they are architects of their own mythos. Their meticulous curation of public personas has led many to believe they possess an uncanny ability to manipulate what the public sees, hears, and reads about them. The Carters have mastered the art of media control. By limiting access and crafting their own narratives, they've created an image that's both aspirational and enigmatic. Beyonce and Jay-Z have built their legacies as symbols of power and success, carefully shaping their public images. But while admiration for them remains strong, skepticism is growing. How much of their personas are real, and what's being kept out of sight? With powerful PR teams and strong media connections, their image is tightly controlled, but at what cost? On platforms like TikTok, Reddit, and independent media, conversations about them are heating up. Yet, mainstream outlets seem to ignore key controversies, whether it's a drop in followers, accusations of complicity, or shifting public perception. Take Jay-Z, for example. As allegations swirl around P. Diddy, some speculate that Jay-Z may have played a quiet role in the background. The backlash has been swift, with reports claiming he lost up to 4 million followers overnight, a staggering 80% drop in his social media presence. Raptastish. But major media outlets have remained silent, seemingly choosing protection over transparency. Beyonce, despite her superstar status, isn't untouched by the fallout. Her association with Jay-Z's silence has sparked a noticeable decline in her Instagram following, a trend that mainstream media has downplayed or dismissed. Since early 2024, independent sources and TikTok users have tracked her follower count, pointing out a steady decline that traditional outlets attempt to discredit. Beyonce has always been private, carefully controlling her narrative, but cracks are beginning to show. Fans aren't buying the polished PR image anymore, and their mass exodus from her social media speaks louder than any media spin. One of the most striking aspects of their media strategy is Beyonce's selective approach to interviews. In an era where celebrities often overshare, Beyonce stands apart. Beyonce hasn't participated in a live interview for years. Instead, she opts for pre-recorded segments or self-produced content, ensuring complete control over the narrative. This approach allows her to maintain an air of mystery while controlling the dissemination of her image and message. By avoiding live interviews, Beyonce eliminates the risk of unexpected questions or narratives she hasn't approved, maintaining a flawless public persona. In a recent NPR feature titled The Beyonce Experiment, How Far Can She Go?, NPR Music's pop critic Ann Powers shared her thoughts on the artist, stating, "One of the things about Beyonce's saturation of every moment of our lives is that she is largely in control of it, which makes her very different than many tabloid stars. Beyond selective engagement, there are allegations that Beyonce and Jay-Z exert influence over media outlets, reportedly blacklisting certain publications that portray them unfavorably. This form of media manipulation ensures that dissenting voices are marginalized, preserving their dominant narrative. Industry insiders suggest that their level of control can stifle creativity and limit opportunities for other artists. Some argue that their influence discourages others from taking creative risks, fearing repercussions from the powerful duo. A notable example is the recent incident involving Piers Morgan. After a guest on his show made unfounded allegations against the couple, their legal team swiftly intervened. Morgan later apologized to the couple, stating that the accusations were totally false and had no basis in fact. He explained that the show removed the claims after the couple's legal team reached out. This incident underscores the Carters' readiness to use legal avenues to protect their image, signaling to media outlets the potential consequences of crossing them. Their legal team's aggressive stance isn't limited to media disputes. Jay-Z's recent defamation lawsuit against attorney Tony Busby highlights their commitment to controlling narratives. By pursuing legal action, Jay-Z aims to challenge and potentially silence narratives he deems false, reinforcing their broader strategy of media control. Such actions send a clear message to the media and public alike. Cross them, and there will be consequences. The most fascinating part of this situation is the stark contrast between fan reactions and media coverage. On Reddit and other platforms, fans aren't holding back their disappointment. Many feel that Beyonce and Jay-Z have spent years building an image of untouchable power in the industry, and now people are starting to question if that control has crossed into something more deceptive. There's a growing belief that they're not just turning a blind eye to shady behavior, but actively shaping the media narrative to avoid backlash. And this isn't just a theory. There's clear evidence on social media that trust in them is fading. But unless you're following independent sources, you'd never even know it's happening. So why aren't these stories making headlines? Simple: power and money. Beyonce and Jay-Z have deep ties to major media outlets, ensuring they're always portrayed in a positive light, no matter the controversy. Meanwhile, despite the serious allegations against P. Diddy, coverage has been vague, skirting around the growing accusations. This isn't just celebrity PR. It's a deliberate effort to control the narrative. Independent voices on TikTok and Reddit have been calling it out for months, tracking the drop in followers, shifting fan opinions, and rising outrage. Yet instead of amplifying these discussions, mainstream media keeps shielding these stars from real accountability. Despite these scandals, Beyonce and Jay-Z have remained at the top of the industry. Their ability to control the media, redirect narratives, and turn personal crises into profitable ventures has solidified their legacy. But it also raises a bigger question. Are they truly untouchable, or is there a breaking point where the truth outweighs the brand? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch more similar content, take a look at the cards appearing on your screen now.